a lot of the people that would normally be here, they're off on Sundays.
They're at church.
No, they're not. I don't know if they're at church, but they're not working. It sort of proves the idea that I'm being interfered with by bots and by a system that is working, because well, it doesn't make sense that I would have more views during the week when people are supposed to be at work than on the weekends when people are allowed to chill. But that's how it works every time. So, yeah, I've been saving up a lot of stuff to talk about a lot of different things. That phone is charging right now, so I don't have access to it. Yo, Karen. Hey, Karen, I want to get your thoughts. I thought about this the other day, and it really blew my mind. It seemed like a sort of fork in the road kind of thing. You know, like this seems like one of those smoking guns that could really be damaging to the narrative if enough people started asking the same question. So, think about all of the liberation footage you've ever seen, right? The camps being liberated. And we're told that the reason everybody is... Come on, the camps. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't make me say the word that get the feed in trouble. Concentrate, Angela. Concentrate. Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's been lots of camps over the years. Oh, wait, no. There's only been one.
I mean, there's been two.
No.
There's been two. There was the Japanese internment camps here in the States at the exact same time. But comment came up from an asshole. I said they blacklisted your channel. You wish you gridlocked getting ever 60. I don't know what the fuck you just said, but they always say stupid shit. And of course they're gonna fuck with my feed. I'm always surprised when it does well. Because they're gonna fuck with my shit. Why wouldn't they? I'm the guy saying things that we're not supposed to say. I'm not Alex Jones. I'm not, dumbass Todd Church. I'm not Anomaly. I'm not telling you to believe in certain parts of their narrative. I'm telling you not to believe in any of it. I think it's all bullshit and it's all stupid. And I'm talking about the things that we're not allowed to talk about. I know there are other people talking about those things, but the idea of that I'm going to find them, of course not. They're they're probably just as censored. But back to the footage. You always see the footage of the people. If you think about it, it's obviously totally manufactured footage. True that, just wondered. I thought you'd cut it, so. You always see the footage of the people walking, like, it's staged. When I think about it, I think about the same footage over and over again, where there's like the little old woman with the babushka on, and she's walking, and she still has big fat cheeks, and she has a lot of layers on that seemingly hide how fat she still is. For people that are supposedly emaciated and destitute, they're always fat. But they're walking out, and they sort of do that like penguin walk, and it's like and they're all looking deadpan at the camera, sad faced, and they just walk out, out. They're walking out of the worst of the worst into freedom. And not a single one of them is smiling. Not a single one of them is happy. No one's running, jumping for joy. No one's falling to their knees and crying. No one's hugging each other. We're supposed to believe that they were all just so Stockholm syndromed that they were like I don't know, depressed or something. I don't know. It don't make no sense. Right. It don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. I could understand some people being that way, especially the people that were, elderly and whatnot. But that there's no children running and jumping, that there's just nobody happy in those scenarios seems off. It seems like they were so desperate to push the narrative, that they were so oppressed and sad, that they forgot to make it realistic. That everybody's just going to walk in a nice straight line. Like, it just doesn't, well, you can't say you don't know. And Charles said to me, maybe they edited out that footage. And I thought, you know what, that's actually a reasonable argument, but I don't think you could. I don't think you could, like, there would be people in the back, in within each group smiling. There would be, it would just, I just don't see it as a viable option. And to think, okay, so we're willing to say that they're editing out the happy people, but we're not willing to say that it's a manipulation start to finish? Is that how it works? Look at this. I'm down to 1 right now. They really fucked my shit up over this last week. We did get blacklisted. Wah, wah. It's just what it is. I mean, you don't get blacklisted, you don't get shut down, you don't get interfered with when you're, Joel Osteen selling porky pies. That dude's allowed to just, that guy's fucking...
Thank you.
I love how people were like, during bad times, when there was floods or wherever it was, Joel Osteen didn't open up his house to people. Yeah, you're damn right he didn't. What are you, crazy? You're going to just let a bunch of people come into your house?
Like I said, there was an old ass fucking crippled man in front of the Jesuit retreat house. Not a single soul was helping him.
That dude's making tons of money.
Oh,
trust me.
Rough.
He makes lots of money. Anybody out there panhandling makes good money.
Nobody was stopping. That was at Horton and Woodward. People are too busy.
He wouldn't be there if it wasn't. If that wasn't a viable spot, he wouldn't be there. But, I mean, if you just watch, if you sit there for a good 15 minutes and you watch, and you just think, let's say you happen to see 2 people give him something, $1, $5. Christmas time, people are going to be a lot more generous.
I didn't see a single person.
Man, when I valeted cars, I mean, by this point, we're I'd be telling people, 11 days of Christmas, have a happy holiday. If we don't see you again, Merry Christmas. Like, I'd be milking Christmas from December. Like, the start of December, it's like, oh, how are you today, sir? Oh, I'm fine, young man. How are you? Ah, looking forward to Christmas. I love this time of year. Enjoy your meals, sir. Have a great, I'm always planting those fucking seeds. And I made so much more money around December and shit. It's always interesting. Anyone who's been on many ships in one submarine, I can say they do exist. Yes, within 10 minutes of the 6 people that are allowed to be here, one of them is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm old, and I'm on the interwebs at 10 in the morning on a Sunday, and I'm here to tell you I've been on a submarine. Submarines are real, Every fucking time. Every time that shit's supposed to happen. That makes so much sense. I don't know. I know you're talking about something completely different, but the title of your show really bothers me. Just want people to know. I know how conversations work, and I know, like, anybody, like, if two people or whatever was having a conversation outside, or a group of people were having a conversation outside, and I just walked up and started talking about something else, that would be rude. But hey, I'm dumb. That's what I do. 16 years in the Navy. Talk to me. Talk me, I'm wrong, buddy. Talk me, I'm wrong, buddy. I will talk you, you're wrong, buddy. 16 years in Navy. Talk me, I'm wrong, buddy. I believe ya. Again, I don't care. Really don't care. It'll happen. I'm not worried. If we have to restart again, we will. even if, like, even if I was blacklisted, and then the fact that somebody's gonna keep coming, why would I care? I don't. It's what it is. Why would this happen if I was wrong? You want your evidence, you want your proof. There it is. It's what it is, man. Just ask yourself the questions, people. It's all it ever comes down. Fuck autocorrect and fuck you idiots. Yep, it was autocorrect that did that. Autocorrect made that happen, and you aren't responsible to proofread before you hit send. Gotcha. Especially when you're trying to talk like you're really smart. I'm smarter than you. Talk me about it. Me smart. Me smart. First of all, anyone that was in the Navy for 16 years is not somebody that can be trusted as a civilian. Right? You have to understand, military people.
You've been brainwashed and conditioned. That's their job, to brainwash you.
Well, that and they've all been conditioned that we are the enemy. You know, at the end of the day, they're supposed to be looking out for their brothers and sisters, and that we are especially the domestic side of things, the domestic terrorists. That we are the bad guys for not believing the same narrative they do. It's they've been told not to tell us the truth. They've been told that they go against the tradition and all their brothers and sisters who have died over the years and blah blah. If you go and break these rules, then you are a bad whatever, sailor, grunt, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. These are people who, you know, got injected with who the fuck knows. That was part of their thing. They had to be injected.
Well, wait now, because that does depend on which side you get in through. So you get in through the Annapolis side, you have less exposure to that. This is one of the things I talked to Josh about. Like, he didn't go in through the grunt side. The grunt side are all the experiments and the testing. They're not the smart ones that can, like, actually do the higher ups down the road. So,
whose brains need to be preserved.
Right. So that does depend. So as far as that dude, who knows? Which end did you come up? The brain side or the muscle side?
It's what they do. It's just what they do.
Because Josh didn't have all those injections and shit. He remembers his brothers getting them.
But see, Josh is telling you what he's supposed to. You think Josh is telling you the truth because you guys were friends. Or are friends. Josh is only going to tell you what Josh wants to tell you and what Josh is supposed to tell you. He is not going to tell you what, you know, everything. It's part of the arrogance that we all have to get over with that.
Expect that.
Right, but we all think it's like we do the same thing with our grandparents. Oh, my grandmother would tell me the truth. We do the same thing, you know. It's that thing where we don't like so many people don't like being wrong. And so they will do everything they can to insulate themselves from being wrong. And that's how we're supposed to be. Like when somebody corrects you, you're not supposed to say, "Oh, all right, wow, thank you. I didn't even realize I was getting that wrong." You're supposed to get mad. What the fuck, man? What are you correcting me for? I love when people come in and they'll be like, "Why oh you are a dumbass," and then they'll be like, "Oh, big man, you're trying to correct my grammar." Blah blah blah. It's like, dude, you're trying to insult me. And you can't, you're insulting my intelligence. You're saying I'm stupid, I'm dumb, and you can't even spell that correctly. Like, that's amazing. How am I not supposed to focus on that? Your name is hard as fuck to search on YouTube. It just refuses to show your channel. Of course. What do you think? That's why I require you guys to do more. Right? I'll do my part. I'll continue doing the thing that apparently has the system so freaked out. You guys have to do your part. Right? You guys have to
Help people see it.
help. Right. It's simple. What do you really think the system is going to make it easy for us to topple them? Wake up. I've been telling you guys this whole time, like, I'm surprised they've let me have the views they have for this long. Of course they're going to shut it down. I work for an intelligence agency. We legit have a file on you. I'm sure you do. Yep. An intelligence agent is going to come on YouTube and say stuff like that. Does anybody think that's real? That's just not how it works. I mean, come on. You guys have to use your brains and just understand what you're experiencing. I highly suggest all you try to do is prove me wrong. You know, everything I'm saying, you just do your best to prove it wrong. Because that's the only way you're going to learn. I didn't start out this way. I didn't start out like this. Just do. You know. I think I'm going to just not believe everything we're talking that we're told and ostracize myself and you know get disowned and all that stuff. Yeah, oh yeah. That's good. That's the plan. I mean, it's strange because like people act a certain way, right? They act like again. I'm just like they know these things. Like I always find it strange that with all of the same profiles that come through every day, that none of these guys, maybe they do, maybe, you know, but that none of them seem to like spend the next however long, 20 hours or so, 22 hours, trying to figure out, you know, something that I was wrong about, educate themselves on the subject one way or another. And so that when they come back the next day, because they're going to come back, they actually have more to say, especially like the Bible and stuff. Like, I guess at the end of the day, they might be doing that. And the problem is, if you are looking up, trying to debunk what I'm saying using the official narrative, well, you're probably going to find the same things I'm saying. You know, you could look it up all day. You're not going to find that I'm wrong about any of this shit. You know, it's all it's all like it's all it's not really hard to figure out. Go look up nuclear submarines. Just go look up the history of them. Go look up that guy Rickover, Chaim Rickover, and just look at that narrative and you tell me how that makes sense. Especially his little bit in 1930 when he was in 3 different places at once. It's just the narratives we're given are just such clearly manufactured bullshit. That I figured this out a long time ago, right? It was irritating 10 years ago when I would talk about things and people would say, "Where'd you get that from?" And I'd say, "Oh, I saw this really cool YouTube video about it." And they go, "YouTube, meh," acting like YouTube's not a good source of information. The people that are putting out really good YouTube videos, they're not trying to be wrong, so they're not going to put a bunch of shit in their video that's easily disproven. And the other thing is, like, you just don't realize how much of the official narrative disproves the official narrative. You know, it's you don't have to go all crazy kooky conspiracy to get in a really weird place. Here, let's give it one more shot. Pedophiles kill yourself.